Surprise, surprise, surprise. Jussie Smollett. Well, are y'all tired of talking about this shit yet? What's this been going on? 3 years, right? Now, Jussie Smollett is gay. I'm gay. He's black. I'm black. But from the beginning, Jussie Smollett, I don't even know why you drug this shit out this long. How much money have you cost the city of Chicago? This dude has been count all 5 counts that you're a liar. And then, I mean, they had 6 counts. He got found guilty on 5 counts. But basically, anybody with any reasonable mind knows this dude has been lying since the beginning, right? I don't know what he hoped to accomplish by dragging this shit out this long. I mean, people have been fighting murder cases in Chicago, not dragged out this damn long. And do you know what's going to happen? They said the most he can get is 3 years. Are we serious? He ain't got no record. The most he can get is 3 years. That means he's going to get probation, or he's going to be working at the soup kitchen or something like that. A huge waste of time. Yes, Jussie Smollett, you lied. You told these blatant lies. You are probably, my guess, a selfish little brat who's got a big problem with lying. Maybe if your family were to be honest, or if they fall out with you, they will come and say, you know what? He started lying when he was 6 years old. He said, I stole his lunch money. He said this. He said this about the teacher. He reported a false report when he was 10 years old. He is apparently to carry a lie out this long, Jussie Smollett. When surely you've been offered opportunities to plead. They probably offered him plea bargains, right? You just say that you lied and you get probation or something like that, right? Now he done pushed it all the way to the end. It is an embarrassment to me to see someone throw their career away like this, and then to be so ardent about sticking with this stupid ass, dumbass lie. If it were me, I would have said it was I was making a political statement, power to the people. I'm fighting against MAGA or whatever, made it sound something political. But no, these were just his selfish desires, I guess, to get more money from Empire, knowing that Empire was about to close. I mean, you got 5 years out of it, dude. What the fuck did you expect it was going to go on forever? Some of the best television programs in history have only made it 6. The average, they make it about 6 seasons. That is a long-running series, right? The writing dropped off, the acting dropped off, all the storylines dropped off. It just ran its course. Do you guys know how many jobs this man would have had if he would just accepted whatever his last season was, took his paycheck, paid up his rent a little bit, and went out and start auditioning for other stuff, or sent his agent out to find him other jobs? Look at how much Taraji has worked since then. I think Terrence has actually retired or something like that. But look how much work Taraji P. Henson has done from that series. That could have made his career. But because of his greed and his insistence on pushing his agenda, now he's going to be a stain on the Hollywood phenomenon, the Hollywood experience. Hi, people. Hi, Princess A. Tonya B. Anybody surprised? Talia, Tequila, and hi, Annette. Fraser Laurie, Tashana. Hi, Connie Bernard, and Elaine. So y'all see now he got more headlines. I mean, if it's possible for him to spin this thing into something, I don't see how. I don't know why anybody would want to go into production with somebody who's going to bring all this goddamn heat on them if they don't pay them enough money. That show was groundbreaking when it came out. Groundbreaking, I tell you. And he got to play himself, this gay boy, right? That was a role tailor made for him, right? You ain't gonna get too many opportunities like that as a black gay person, gay man, to play a black gay character and a musician and all the things he wants to be. That's all the things that show was, right? Once in a life. It was one in a million, a chance of a lifetime. You blew it. So I doubt that he's going to have much of a career going forward. But we've been saying this for 3 years now. Frankly, I covered this story when it first happened. It was fascinating. I mean, it was so crazy and ridiculous, but it was fascinating, right? It ain't fascinating 3 years later to me, honey. And if they offered him the maximum he can get 3 years, he ain't doing no 3 years. They drop it in the middle. That means it's a year and a half. That means he's already given a few days time served, whatever. And then you go work down at the soup kitchen for 6 months. Probation. Ridiculous. All the crime they got in Chicago, they got to spend all these resources on this dude. Now, he probably done spent all the money he made. He made a piece of change there. He wasn't satisfied with how much he made, but he was still on the television show for what, 4 years. So he had a little money saved up. He could have easily got his bills paid up for a while and just kept trying to work. But no, he probably felt like when that show ended, that was going to be the end of it for him. He'll never see that kind of glory again. But I saw him in a great movie called The Skinny. He did a couple of projects before that. And now they say he's directed something called Be Better Blues. I don't know how big a production that is. They were trying to give him an opportunity, but this is embarrassed. Their cast is well. It's embarrassment. There are militant types that were still going to give him a job just because they just hated Trump so bad that they saw this as just being him fighting against Trump, right? I don't know what the fuck he thought. It was dumb. Threw away your fucking career. He was a talented singer and a talented actor and all that. He was good looking, but looks don't last but a minute. Jussie Smollett, I'm gonna tell you something, boy. You've been cute. You were cute in the movies that I saw you in. You were cute on the series, but the cute is just about to run up. You in your 30s, about 40 is gone. You ain't got too much left. You ain't got too much left where they're gonna be hiring you in Hollywood because of your cuteness, because you have reached your expiration date by bullshitting with this goddamn court system and sitting up here telling all these stupid ass lies and expecting the whole world to believe you. That means there's a psychological problem with you. Something is wrong with you. You should have leaped at the opportunity immediately after they say, just confess and go to Paris or some damn where. Maybe you can get your commercial in Europe some damn where. Go away for a while. People will forget about it and then come on back and try to restart your career. But oh no, you want to dig in. Now you probably done spend all of your money. You done spent your mama. You don't. Did you have to? Did they mortgage your mama house? How about your brothers? How much they had to kick out their ass? Everybody got to kick in for poor Jesse, the one who wants to be the star of the family. They all trekking to Chicago. He's stuck in Chicago all this damn time, girl. It's been a big old mess. So no, I don't feel sorry for Jussie Smollett. He kept lying, right? You caught in a lie, especially a huge lie like that, child. I mean, everything pointed to you're guilty the whole time, and he still lies. What kind of lawyers you got? Maybe these arrogant ass lawyers pumped your head up to say, well, we can beat it, right? Why? Because they're on their job. That's kind of what they're paid for. Keep the case going, right? They didn't convince this dumbass he can win the case. Winning and losing, I don't think what the big deal is going to be. It's going to be the same results. You ruin your career by people not working with you, honey. Only those few militant types, and then they have to be worried about their own damn careers, right? People ain't gonna want to associate with you, child. And like I said, the cuteness is running out. You ain't. I mean, it's already starting to show wrinkles, girl. It just doesn't last that long, Jussie Smollett. Yeah, I thought you did a good job as the kid in the show, kind of thing. But how often is a role like that going to come up? I mean, Lee Daniels not going to work with you anymore. You embarrassed the hell out of him, right? Most of the people in there, they're not going to be having you on their projects. Taraji certainly is not going to sabotage her career trying to pull you up. Even the gay movies, he was in several of these little gay movies and stuff. They ain't gonna want to be bothered. It's just foolish. I'm sure you've been miserable for a whole damn. Well, people like that, if they're pathological liars, they don't really they really believe that they're telling the truth. They convince themselves, just like Donald Trump. They whatever they say, that they just believe it. They've decided to believe it, or they've decided they can convince others to believe it. Right? I'm an actor, and I can convince you that I'm telling you the truth, even though we have all the witnesses, all the evidence, all the video, all the everything, baby. How y'all? What makes me mad about people is people doesn't wait a minute. What makes me mad about people is people doesn't care that Jussie Smollett was going to let these two dark-skinned black brothers go to jail. Oh, with something. If he really believed that they were going to go to jail for his ass, he must really think he got some good asshole. Now he already said that he done tricked with both of them, which is already unusual. Are they brothers? They are brothers. What they doing with Jussie Smollett? They hopefully. Ooh, I hope they wasn't being nasty with all each other. Maybe he takes one in the room and then the next day he takes another one in the room. He was having sex with both of them. Let's hope it wasn't at the same time where his brothers are actually touching each other and all that kind of shit. Them people weren't going to jail for your stupid ass, James. Some people think they're really smart. I don't know why that boy thought that he could come and pull something off so stupid as that. They even have him on film buying the ropes and shit. He don't give a damn. Oh, they would just come on their own. They go. So you're gonna sacrifice their lives, child, to carry out so you can try to get some more money out of Empire. What were you doing, Jesse? Were you spending the money as fast as you got it? Is that what the problem was? You just didn't have any money, and you had heard through the grapevine that the show was coming to an end, and you want to try to get as much as you could from that last season because you don't went on here and got I don't know about that apartment. It looked like just a little 1-bedroom condo. So I don't know how much debt you acquired or whatever. Why do you have to go to this extreme measures? And then to throw all that old Trump shit about the nuisance and the bleach and all that shit. Why was all that necessary? You had to mix too much together, girl. You're a very creative queen. I ain't feeling sorry for shit. Them motherfuckers threw me and go. I stole something out of what store was it? Macy's or something. I think the shit was worth $50, girl. They gave me 3 years for that. Let me not lie. But 3 years is the minimum time you can get in prison, right? You get 16 months or 3 years. Those are the low terms, right? So my situation was I got caught stealing something back in my boosting days. And then what they do is they put you on probation, right? So you don't get no big time. You can get a 30 days or something like that. But the condition of the probation, if you violate the probation, then they can send you to prison for 3 years. That's the kind of sentence he's going to get, right? You just can't be out there lying. And I mean, who knows what his life's going to be like? But I doubt that he would be getting more where he would be violated and sent to prison. But that's how they got me. Honey, they're putting people in prison for 5 years for a rock of crack. Some brother who's lost his way and then scratched up enough money to buy him a crack rock, put it on the pipe. They catch him with the pipe, with residue on the pipe. He gone for 5 years. So how am I supposed to feel sorry for Jussie Smollett, who just doing some childish ass prank? Because he's apparently a spoiled brat. You're no good. A heartbreaker. You are a liar and you a cheat. I don't know why they let you do this thing to them. All your friends was telling you that you were no good. But whoa, they don't know that you can weave a lie like no one else could. Child, all that shit you got. Oh, that's the black brother soul. Girl, go on, say that bullshit, child. I ain't people don't just learn in measly 3 years, child. Talk to them brothers. Then they're doing 30 years for cocaine, for possession of cocaine. His ego wouldn't let him tell the truth. So he thought he was going to fool all of America. And who was that woman? She let him go, right? Wasn't there a woman? What was that name? Kim something? Did she let him go initially? They wouldn't file charges, and then Chicago picked it up. They stretched that shit out for 3 years. Prosecutors got to be paid. All the people in the court got to be paid. All the attorneys got to be paid. Everybody got to be paid. Only one got over in this whole damn case were the lawyers. Because they going to get theirs, honey. They might have their boy's mama's deed. It wouldn't be the first time. He was going to let them dark-skinned brothers. Leave them dark-skins alone. They fine boys, too. They, what are they, bodybuilders or something? He hitting both of them. Jussie Smollett. They were starstruck, sure enough. But ain't nobody going to prison for your ass, child. You kidding yourself. And you an ex-star, too? You can't even send them money for zooms and whams in jail. You can't carry nobody, child. You gave them, what, $3,500? You think they're going to give up years of their life? Because they would have gave them a lot more than they would have hit them with assaults and all this kind of shit. They would have gave them more than 3 years, right? They're going to sacrifice their life for $3,500? What's that, a month's salary? Girl, please. Your nose hairs freeze in Chicago. I was quite surprised by it initially. Well, he caught everybody by surprise initially that he had been jumped on. But then the case started falling apart, what, the next day? And he did it right in front of the camera that didn't work. Ain't that a bitch? Vivica A. Fox was on his side. She gonna say, what's she gonna say now? People stood up for him initially. But I think they're all falling by the wayside. It's dumb to sit up there and try to protect that boy. You spoiled brat. For lying. Got his goddamn, you got a job like that, boy. People out here struggling, honey, working at goddamn McDonald's and shit, just trying to make it, keep a roof over their head. You got all that dumped in your lap. The role of a lifetime, and you think we're supposed to feel sorry for you? Girl, please. You're an embarrassment. That silly ass noose. You'll see that little clothesline he had around his neck, girl. Hopefully they're gonna sentence him to also see a therapist. He's gonna have to get some psychiatry, honey. You sitting up here with this little goddamn clothesline on your neck, girl. Would you take the clothesline off? Let me see what else somebody say. Hi, Primo Wanda. It was one of the coldest few days ever in Indiana, Chicago area. I couldn't get a flight to New York to make my audition because it was too. Oh, you're an actress? Because it was too cold to fly. I don't remember all the details of the situation. I know it was freezing in Chicago at the time when he came out here with this bullshit. Child. Look at my furniture. What day it was? You see it? People don't buy no new furniture. I couldn't believe it. They sent me that shit. I spent all day. My back hurt. My knees hurt. I had a trunk right here, right? And I just replaced it with another trunk. But they sent that damn thing in a box. That's the way furniture comes these days, right? So my old trunk was solid as a rock, honey. You could have dropped that thing out of the third-story window, and it'd still be a trunk. It was solid, right? But this thing here, they say, oh, it'll take 30 minutes to put together. Right. Maybe in your 30s. All day long. Even put the top on backwards. I really don't even like new furniture. I don't like all this put together shit, honey. But it's done. It's kind of cute. You see it? They call it a cedar chest. You're supposed to keep your, I guess it's made for blankets. It's made out of cedar for blankets and all that kind of stuff. Me, myself, I put discarded lamps and lamps and statues and whatever I can stick in there. Those guys are very savvy. I could see them. They're going to demand. They might do a Netflix show on the Osanero brothers. I can see them turning into something. Either that or they're going to write a little book. Yeah, that might be a good little doc. Netflix, they do everything. You know. Y'all see they got the Tiger King second season up now. They sure do go to prison for a long time, honey. But he gonna say, oh, nobody was hurt. Nobody was hurt. You wasted the whole the city of Chicago. I don't know how much money they have in discretionary funds for fighting all these cases, but they got murder cases, honey, weekly. Other ways they can use their money and their time. So I guess the first woman decided, well, it wasn't worth putting all the time into it since it wasn't a capital crime or anything. But whoever came after her now has decided, no, it's wrong. We got to stand up for justice and all that. No pun intended. Jesse probably gone. Wait a minute. Oh, you gone already? Okay. What's he gonna cry about? He ain't gonna get no time. Girl, 3 years in prison is not no time. The time they knock off stuff for time served. Was he ever in jail? I don't think he ever actually spent any time behind bars, but they give you halftime on 3 years. If it's not a violent crime, you get halftime automatically, right? So it would just be a turnaround. If he did go to prison, they would go taking pictures of him getting on the bus and pictures of him getting off the bus. And he'd go lay down for a week, and then they start processing him out. That's what it comes down to, honey. So he wouldn't get the 3 years, right? Let's say if he got the medium, let's say he got 16 months. That's the minimum you need to go to prison, at least in California. So I don't know what it is in Chicago. So they knock it down. So you're only getting 16 months, right? You get halftime on the 16 months. So now you're down to 8 months. By the time you actually get to the prison, you already did 3 months in the county jail waiting to be processed, right? So they call those turnarounds. Turnarounds. Mm-hmm. But Jesse, I suspect, has got other fish to fry. He's probably been lying all his life. In order to come up with a story like that and to think you could actually get away with it, you're a liar. So I'm sure he's embarrassed his family. I don't think that he had enough money since he was so desperate to get a raise in the last year. He probably didn't have much money, which means that his family would have to come up with the money for his various bails and whatever, and his attorneys, primarily his attorneys, right? They're in it for the publicity, but they ain't gonna. They didn't represent him pro bono. It wasn't like that. He had to pay him, so he probably done went through all the family money. He ain't gonna be able to work no more. He lucky he can get the hell out of jail and still. I don't know what he can do. I just don't know. Maybe after a few years, somebody like Tyler Perry say, "Oh, I feel sorry for him" and all that, and give him some kind of opportunity. But that will be years down the road, honey. You got hard times. Hard times. You need something to ease your father didn't know the meaning of word. Boom, 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 boom. He disrespect your mama and treated you like dirt. You left home seeking a job that you almost did fine. Took your line, honey. You took to cloud nine. Jussie Smollett, you are what you call a Hollywood tragedy. Mm-hmm. Okay, look what happened with the college admission scandal. Shaking my head. What happened to what happened to them? They did do some time though, didn't they? Didn't those actresses do time with the scandal? It could be that Chicago is going to demand, after wasting so much time, they might demand that he get some time. Like I said, I don't know what's going to mount up to. Time you break it down, he could get a couple months. He's a disgrace, that is for sure. He's in all the news programs, though. They're all reporting on it. So I guess this is how he's going to get his last 5 minutes of fame, honey. He used up all 15 minutes on this scandal. Yeah, those are turnarounds. Okay, they did like 2 weeks on Scandal. Okay, they paid out their asses, from what I understand. Plus, they had a couple of them. What was the one lady paid $1.5 million to get her daughters through school? Well, that was sacrifice. And they paid $1.5 million. Then probably did damage to their own careers. Played all these lawyers, and was it worth it? What were your kids, morons? Damn, they couldn't get in school. They've lived privileged lives and gotten the best education all their lives. You would think they'd be able to qualify to get into a decent school. Oh my goodness. Okay, I hear you, Tia. And we got white privilege. A lot of times, what they call white privilege is money privilege, honey. Money. You got money, you can get out. OJ proved that to us. OJ said, I can cross the color barrier if you pay. You got to pay like you weigh, baby. Mm-hmm. Well, people, I don't really know what's going on today. All I saw was that. I was working on this damn trunk all damn day. Ooh, I got so mad. I can't even tell you what they charge for the damn thing. I said, you got to be kidding me. When I saw that damn box, you got to be kidding me. You people are charging people all this money for this new furniture, which is not even furniture, really. I mean, not compared to old furniture. Old furniture is solid, particularly something like a trunk. They charge you all this money, and then they're going to sit you in a box. The fuck is that? No decency. Have you no decency? I guess all the children's over there getting their time in today. I see that that ZT monster. She been trying to bait people in for weeks now. I guess she got a couple of them today. And then that, I hate to say the name, that J monster, J Wilson monster. What's his name? J Creature. She's over here arguing with QB. Whatever. Let them get their money, child. That boy is still trying to get somebody to be impressed with him. People, don't waste your life trying to get people to be impressed with you, honey. Just live your life. Live your life. That nigga's still over there trying to get somebody to be impressed with him. He can't accept that nobody gives a goddamn about what school he went to, or what he did, or where he lives, or what he drives, what kind of shoes he wears. Nobody cares, Jay Wilson. The fuck are you talking about? You could go and get those degrees. You could, girl, he must have went on an hour and a half talking about how this QB monster, who is 40 years old, can go back and get more degrees, get their degrees. You're not a very good example of what that could mean, Jay Wilson. Why don't you just leave it alone, girl? Why don't you just find something else to talk about, bitch? Ain't nobody impressed with you. Forget it. I made those certain decisions. I made those. Y'all have no idea how hard it is for me to stay off that food. So I decided, well, I won't look at the video today. That's the onlyest way. But aren't the brothers accomplices to Jesse's crime? Are the brothers accomplices? Well, they made a deal, honey. They said, we'll spill the beans and y'all take his ass and leave us alone. Leave us alone, girl. Yeah, they got a deal, though, because it was his plan, his plot, and he's the only one going to benefit from it. So, yeah, they were going to participate in his little scheme, his little publicity stunt. But that's probably why they gave up the information so freely. They were offered a deal. If he would have jumped on the deal first, he probably could have sent them boys away for a crime they didn't commit, because there was no crime. Right? Crime of deception. He ain't gonna get no money out of that, child. I'm surprised he even got the Be Better Blues, but that was a low cost production. They probably thought they were giving him a chance, They sung like a canary. People ain't gonna go to jail, child, for you. You're gonna have to kick down something heavy. Plus, they had to train him too. The 3,500 that include the training sessions, and Lord knows what went on in the bedroom because he already said he was having sex with both of them, right? Plus, there was a drug bill because they were buying drugs for him. So Jussie was doing cocaine as well. Plus, he said they went to the bathhouse. That was out of his. Those were his words, and not ours. He out there he a big star on among black people, a big star on television, and he's off doing cocaine in a bathhouse. A bathhouse is when you pay $10, $15, and you go and everybody's in there naked, right? Now nobody's gonna recognize Jussie Smollett. It speaks to his mind, right? He would have did better with just stay home and party with the Ascendero brothers. But he felt so bold. Probably because of that cocaine. That cocaine making you hungry. It ain't like we were wearing masks at that time, honey. They were going to know who he was. Mm-hmm. Why, Jussie? Why? Beautiful array in indigenous queen says. She wants to know why. Why, Jussie? Maybe he was high when he plotted the plan, but it went on for several weeks, apparently. They even had a dress rehearsal. I wouldn't want to work with somebody like that. Plus, you're gonna have when you try to when the show is done, you're gonna be a Monique. They got to sit up here and deal with trying to get rid of your ass because you want more and more and more from every project. Girl, it's just greed. You could have built yourself a career from that show. Bathhouses are shut down. Well, it depends on what state you're in or what city you're in. They're not shut down. They're shut down here in San Francisco. They've been shut down since the 80s. Bathhouses, but they still got sex clubs, which are almost bathhouses. They're not quite as big, and they you don't have closed doors with no privacy. They have certain things set up for safety, but you got to use condoms and all that kind of stuff. But they still have sex clubs here, but no bathhouses. They never brought them back. Some cities they never got rid of them. There are parts of even Northern California that still have bathhouses. I think they're still. When they closed them down in San Francisco, we were still going to them in Los Angeles. But a bathhouse and a sex club, it's all semantics, honey. So I just take the doors off the stalls, and that now it's a sex club. Anyway, it's hardly the kind of place you would expect a popular actor. Remember now, the show was still playing when this was going on. Since the show was supposed to be centered around Chicago, and because they were black, and because they had all these gay characters, surely you have to realize that everybody in Chicago knew about Empire, right? So why would you then go into a bathhouse where everybody's in there naked and all humping on each other and hunching, and they got the orgy rooms and things, people just propping in and propping out, people moving in, people moving out. Why? Because the size of their skin. Work, 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 but the show can't hide. Eye for an eye, two for two. Come with me and I will set you free. Come on, brother. Come on. Cocaine will make you think like, wait, though. Cocaine make you do strange things, honey. Whether it's strange for change or just strange for strange. I said, Monique, well, I just mean that he'll be a problem person to work with, because apparently he was having all kind of issues with Empire because if he wants his roles expanded and he wants more money and all this kind of stuff. More, I think the big deal was money, right? Because they all knew the show was ending. But unlike Taraji, he decides he wants to get everything he can out of that show instead of going on to the next project, honey. You were hot. You would have left the show hot. You would certainly be on that. It ain't like when we were children and we had 4 or 5 series. They got 100 series all over everything. Everything has a series, right? He could have easily have gotten himself into another job. He could have played a detective. He could have played anything, honey. None of that happened. Mm, mm, mm. Come talking about he's the gay Tupac. Now, what sense does that make? How you the gay Tupac? What one thing got to do with the other? Who will play Jussie in the movie? Yeah, they might do though. Now he might go for that, but I don't know that they would have him in it. They might use him as a consultant on the case. He's gonna still be trying to spin the case like he was innocent. So they would probably have to just buy the story from the Asadero brothers. I'm sure they don't mind. This has probably worked out pretty good for them because they've gotten a whole lot of publicity, and a lot of people don't care nothing about the police department and all this shit. They don't care. So for them, it was just I just know their names, and I can just see their bodies, and I know they're freaky. If y'all both fucking the same dude, y'all freaky as hell. Asandero. Plus, they ain't bad looking. They ain't too hard on the eyes either, honey. Compare himself to what? I don't know. I never got the similarity. What was similar about them? Nothing. So we don't know what was going on in his head. He still ain't gonna tell. He still ain't gonna tell the truth. He's just like Donald Trump. Honey, Donald Trump will still tell you right in your face that he won the damn election. The hell with the millions of people who voted against him. The hell with the court case after court case after court case, all finding that he lost. Don't make no difference to him. He's still saying he won. And whatever fools follow him, they're saying the same thing. Hey, I was cheated. I tell you, I was cheated. He started saying he was cheated before he even got in office. As long as everything is fair, I'll surrender as long as it's fair. It's got to be fair. Then he started calling it rigged all the way through his fucked up presidency. And he will still look you right in your mouth and tell you that he won the presidency. He is the real president. They may very well, he won't be sentenced until the end of January. They may very well have some kind of psychiatry as part of his sentencing. You must complete 50 sessions, or then he's going to do community service. That ain't nothing. Things that people do anyway. Go down to the church and feed the homeless. I used to wonder back in my early dope days. I would go to they used to give us food and stuff in the park, right? And you would see these guys pull up in Rolls Royces and things. I said, "Oh, what nice people! Oh, these are nice people. Look, they come to volunteer their time. They ain't come to volunteer shit. They got busted for drunk driving or something, child. And part of their sentence was community service. That's where they came from. And they got right back in their Mercedes. They ain't got nothing to do with your ass, girl. They got people out here that got good money out here cleaning the streets, honey. Why? Because it's part of their sentence. Community service. You start now, impeach 44. Don't you start no stuff. Trump won eviction. That's right. Out. Take all your tacky gold drapes with you. Okay, Connie says, and after all this, we still don't know Jussie's true motives because he can't tell the truth. We probably never will know. I mean, we don't know. It might be that cocaine talking to him. We can assume since he involved in mega hats and nooses that he had an agenda which was against Trump administration. Yeah, but they never made any sense though, Connie. Them people don't give a damn. So what? They were Trump supporters. What, they're going to raid the Trump headquarters? He could have spun it like it was some kind of political thing he was doing, like a protest or something. But it's too late for all that now. Here we go again, glorifying drug dealers. So we all squares, huh? Bubbles, don't you bring your ass over here. What do you want, Bubbles? What's wrong? Here we go again. Glorifying drug. Girl, anybody glorifying no goddamn drug dealers, honey. Either you're in or you're out, child. The man said he did cocaine and went to the bathhouse. What do you want me to do? Pretend he didn't go to the bathhouse or didn't go do cocaine? What is this aversion to the truth? That ain't glorifying shit. It's just telling you the truth. If somebody tell you they went to prison, girl, 100 times for selling drugs, what they supposed to do? Well, I went to prison. I can't say why. I can't say because what? But that's glorifying drug dealing. No, they're just telling you why I went to prison. Stick with the facts, ma'am. I don't have to sell or use drugs to be cool. Or you're a child. Okay, Bubbles, you're a young person. That don't sound like no adult talking, honey. You done weaseled your ass over here from the Jay Wilson camp, ain't you? Or was it properly bona fide? It was a contract negotiation ploy that went awry. Hollywood LGBTQ community was supporting Jussie. Now, I don't think they're going to support him now. No. And Jussie, he's got to be a pretty arrogant person in order to think he could lie to people like that and pull that off and just lie. Oh, I mean, probably 100 times saying it to everybody who would listen. One of the only violation that he wasn't convicted of, the only count he wasn't convicted of, is that one police officer, they didn't find him guilty of that particular lie, but he lied to everybody else. So, and he's been lying ever since. No, before he got the Empire role, he had several roles in LGBT. He was a popular LGBTQ actor. In other words, when we make movies with gay themes, he could just pay himself in there. I saw him in one called The Skinny. I thought it was good. I thought it was cool. He was even cuter then, But then the Empire role kind of catapulted him into regular prime time, and he blew it. He blew it with his greed. So he may go back. I'm sure that if you are because a lot of those kind of movies, the little gay movies, they don't have a big budget. They don't have a huge budget. So if you can get a Jussie Smollett and you ain't got to pay him all that much money, he could probably work with that. People would say, "Oh, it's us sticking together and all that kind of thing." But I don't know that he's gonna make any money doing something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe he can do a player here. It's gonna have to be some time though. See, we would already be over it now if he would just come clean and let it go, right? But now he's got brand new stigma that he has to deal with, starting from here, not starting from there, starting from after January. Mm-hmm. Doesn't he have a sister that's popular in entertainment as well? I bet he cleaned them all out. Jussie said that the brothers tried to blackmail. Well, you should have paid, nigga. They ain't trying to pay. They ain't trying to blackmail you. They trying to tell you, nigga, if you want us to continue to carry this lie on, you gonna have to pay us. And we ain't talking about no goddamn commissary, no zooms and whams of $20 a month. No. $2 million. You want us to go to prison? $2 million plus attorney fees. I don't know if I'd even call that blackmail, honey. You want a wheel and deal? Jussie ain't got too much. When they showed his apartment, I was amazed how small it was. It's just high rises, like I was telling you guys the other day, a lot of them are just small apartments. But I didn't see anything all that impressive. You never got into Juicy, Bubbles? All right. Well, stay safe, honey. Who sent you? Tay says. Who sent you, Bubbles? We're gonna water torture your ass. Sound like maybe some of Miss Tia's camp. They coming for you. Bubble butt. His sister's fine as hell. Now she's got a career in entertainment, right? As well, correct? Yeah, I'm sure she's tired of trying to explain for her brother. It's hard you guys explain somebody else's lie. More than likely, she just I can't talk about the case. I would think for him to just come out, because I mean, most people don't come out with these insane stories like that. It's not happening that often in Hollywood, and there's been all kind of publicity stunts. People, when they have a record coming out, they got to all of a sudden you talking about them, and they got a movie coming out, and all of a sudden you got some scandal or whatever. No one is taking it to that level though. That he took it with all this drama around it and stuff forth. Why would you? That tells me that you're a liar. You're just a person who's comfortable lying, and you didn't even think about what kind of pressure that would. I mean, what kind of attention that would bring onto you. Do you think any publicity is better than no publicity? Is that where his head was? I don't know. When he said he was doing cocaine, it tells me, well, maybe he wasn't thinking all that clearly, honey. Tim, I'm a free agent on these streets. All right, tear him up, Bubble. Don't be coming here talking about, you saying that bragging on drug dealers. You bragging on goddamn. If I wanted to brag on drug dealers, I would have stayed in it. Trust me. If I thought it was so wonderful, why would I want to get out of it? Juicy is half Jew. Who is Juicy? What's the minimum amount of time Jussie could have to do? 0. Elnor. If the maximum is 3 years, if they said he has no police record, then he wouldn't get the maximum. Almost nobody would get the maximum on their first charge, right? So if you got the medium, I mean, it only goes like 3 years and then 16 months. So if he got 16 months or 2 years, he would automatically qualify for halftime. So if he went in there with 16 months, then what? He get 8 months in jail. Maybe he gets a little bit time served for whatever. It would come out that he'd be getting probation. That's my thought. Now, Chicago, they got so much stink around this case that a lot of people might get real angry. Chicago is volatile. They might get real angry when they see this boy walk out of there with no time at all after dragging their system through this shit for 3 years. So they might have to make an example out of him. I don't know what happened to the other prosecutor, Miss Kim Fields. Did she leave? So Wilson is not a square. Well, bless his heart, honey. I heard that little shade he throws. I ain't going up with it. Of course, he gonna throw my name in anything. That man in San Francisco, he could do more. He said today. He said right when I looked in, he said, "That man over there in San Francisco, he could do more. He could do more than what exactly? I don't know. I'm not going back over the same story every single day with that fool, fucking idiot. So they brought my degree, back a degree, my degree. You could go back." Could be 40 years old. You could go back and get some of these. You could go back and get some of these and do something with yourself. What the hell is that doing with yourself? You sound like a stupid ass man. You 40 years old, nigga, and you got to go and try to catch up with Jay Wilson and all his degrees. Fucking idiot. I decided to give myself a break on that bullshit today. Thank you, Miss D-Town. T.O. Weasels. I think the show was called On Our Own. Jussie was on the show with his siblings. Oh, he was on the show with his siblings? Okay. I know he did that thing called The Skinny. Can Jussie lawyer do a plea deal now? No, ain't no plea deals, baby. He found guilty. Hell. It's up to the judge now. I don't think his kind of case would have the jury wouldn't be deciding anything. My guess, he'll do less than a year if he does any time at all. There's a good chance it's going to be just probation. Now, he better leave that cocaine alone. He might end up violating the probation. He's hot or not? No, he ain't hot no more, honey. People, y'all better value your youth. It don't last but a minute. particularly in Hollywood and show business, things like that, right? You'd be hot in your 20s and 30s, but if you're not, you got to be a really a hot commodity by the time you're 30, right? Because then you're gonna start to decline where you're getting older and older, right? All you gotta do is look at any big actor. Usually the roles are declining as they get older, right? And so he's wasting valuable time here. He needs an enema. That's what Prince said. This place needs an enema. Poor old fat fools. What do you do, Nick? How would he sit at home, put his degrees up on the mantle? Look at him, girl. I made those decisions. I made girl. If you ain't running for mayor or something with 6 degrees, I would say you made a lot of wrong decisions, bitch. I would say you made a whole lot of wrong decisions. Count them up: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not one of them ended up becoming anything. You're not even in the field. Oh, that degree you gave me get a job. I get a job. I get a job and lose a job. I get a job and lose a job. What is your field of expertise? Yes, enjoy your youth, honey. It ain't gonna last but a minute, baby. As the years go by, you'll notice that people fewer and fewer people are looking back. You know, oh, what's that, baby? What's up, baby? You'll hear a lot less of that. What's up, baby? What's up? It'll turn into get out of my way. Your ass. In the gay world, they say you become invisible as the year. And the strange thing about the because they talk a lot about racism in the gay community, but in the end, it all ends up the same, right? Because whether you're invisible because you're black or you're brown or you're some other minority, or you're invisible because you're old, you've gotten older now, it's just invisible, honey. And so the white guys who used to be fine white guys, they're old men now, and nobody's looking at them anyway. So it all kind of melts together, girl. You're just invisible unless you've made some money. Now, if you've got some money, you can stretch it out, and they'll still be telling you how fine you are. That goes for the black and the white and the Chinese and the Mexicans. That money talks as long as you turn green, honey. Places those degrees on his pillow. Look at those degrees. Look at those degrees. You ought to look at those degrees that I guess Jay Wilson. Failure, 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 failure. Each degree is a failure, nigga. I'm starting a new career. I'm starting a new career at 52 years old. Shouldn't you have a career already, bitch? Jesus Christ. It is hard to stay away from him. I got to practice. I got to try to stay focused. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing tonight, honey? I don't think anybody's surprised by this Jussie Smollett thing. I really don't. They just burned it out. You can only go so long with that stuff. Wait a minute. Let me see. I want to see something. Oh, Deanna's on now. I'll switch over there and see what's going on. Troy Allen, he's going to be covering the Jussie Smollett. I don't mind people catching everybody. What else? I don't see anything else going on. Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming in tonight. I'm sorry for you Jussie Smollett fans. Y'all go back and watch the reruns of Empire and admire him for what he was. Right? Later, people.